Hello Freiburger, Finnegan, and Roadkill fans. Welcome to Datsun Dan's Garage. We all know that if we make these vehicles go fast, we gotta make sure that they stop and handle good too. So today I'm going to do a brake job on the back here. I've got brand new brake drums, brake shoes, new wheel cylinders, and the whole brake spring kit, hardware kit to replace the brake parts. Also have a rear sway bar going to mount on the back. Make sure this truck handles good, all the hardware here. First thing I got to do is paint these new brake drums so they don't rust. They are coated with an oil film. I don't know if you can see this, but they'll rust pretty quick. I'm going to clean them with a degreaser and put a shot of paint on them. And while them are drying, I'm going to start tearing apart the brake shoes on the truck. I've got the tires off already. We are going to do a brake job, a complete brake job, and put a sway bar on. This is one of my projects I've yet to complete on this little truck. I've rebuilt the whole front end on this, the brakes, the disc brakes on the front. I just have never got around to doing the back. So today, this is what we're doing. So I'm going to brake and go paint these guys, and I'll come back and we'll take a look at the drums after I get after these drums off. We'll take a look inside and see what the condition of all the old parts are. So, one thing to note about removing these drums on these Datsun pickups is they have threaded holes where if you put a couple bolts in there, you can thread the push the drum right off. Not all vehicles are this way. The Datsuns are pretty nice. 2 bolts and it pushes it right off. Pretty slick trick. Hello Roadkill. Going over here what I did a whole new brake job. Replaced wheel cylinders and the brake shoes and all the hardware, springs, everything is new. I painted the center of the axle a chrome color. I got the sway bar installed. You can see the mounts here, and I had to drill 2 holes in the frame and mount this here. It's all installed. You can see the old parts here I replaced. I did have a bad wheel cylinder. That's what was leaking. I needed to replace a wheel cylinder. I did a whole brake job. New shoes, springs, wheel cylinders, mounted the sway bar, new brake drums, brand new. Clean out the oil off of the inside before you put the brake drum on so it doesn't glaze the new shoes with an oil film. Drum on. I had a leaky wheel cylinder, of course, and could not keep it from leaking, so that was the idea of doing the brake job. I didn't need to replace the drums necessarily. They weren't bad, but I had them. So everything's new on the back here with the new sway bar. The truck ought to handle nice. We're gonna find out, put this wheel on, and everything else is done. I gotta bleed the brakes and take her for a ride. I will get out the torque wrench later and torque these. Just snug them all now, but And there we go. like to point out the new shocks to go with the new rear sway bar. Got to make it handle good here. Got to show a couple other things. The nice patina on the scratches and dents on the Datsun. It's a sleeper. I haven't painted it yet. Wanted to point out a couple other things here. I took a rocker sill cover off so you could see. I filled the body cavity, the whole rocker panel, the door pillar, in this panel in here behind the interior panel. It's all filled with urethane foam. I used about 5-6 cans to fill this whole cab, all the empty cavities. And I took this reinforced rubber and cut out and jacked up the body and put shims in all the body mounts. I don't know if you can see this front one, but I got the back one here. Tighten up the suspension a little bit to ride, because you can't buy replacements for these old 78 Datsuns. Can't buy these rubber bushings anymore, so I made my own. Got 1/2-inch carpet pad, and this is an interior house type carpet, just commercial carpet in the truck. It quiets it down, makes the ride pretty nice. Just a few things I'd like to point out there. Hello again, Roadkill. I finished my brake job and bled all the brake cylinders and the master cylinder, and I come back to the master cylinder here. Got it just a little over full. I'm going to bleed this down to the right level, show you how this works. You just have to keep the line on the fitting, break it loose. Right there. If you don't have a Mighty Vac for doing brakes by yourself, get one. One man job, easy as pie. That's the way you do it. Now I'm going to take you for a virtual tour on this thing. Show you a few things here that are just really hard to see. The steering column here has been notched on one side to clear the exhaust manifold. I had to gain 1/4 of an inch or so, and that's what I got. What I needed, and there's about 3/16 of an inch, 1/8 of an inch or so between the exhaust manifold and the steering column now. It's really tight fit, some of the stuff in here. You can see down in here the intercooler for my transmission comes out of the radiator on one side. The line goes across to the other side. That is transmission intercooler. It's a preheater cooler for the transmission. It is a marine type for stern drive boats is what that is, and I've adapted it to this truck. There's a few other things on this thing. They're really tight. I've got custom hard steel lines from the transmission up to this engine point here for the transmission, so there's no rubber or lines back, aluminum back in there. The stock 79 Buick Skylark flexible throttle cable I used for the Buick here engine on this Datsun swap, because the throttle cable is only 2 inches from the firewall, just too close. I just looped this flexible cable. Works good for the throttle. I had to make my own bracket, make it fit. Going to take you for a little tour on underneath. You can see the oil pan, how it's notched there. You can see to clear the front steering linkage, and the frame cross members notched to clear the oil pan. That's what makes this bugger fit tight. Got new 1-inch front sway bar on the front. All the front end's been rebuilt at one time or another. And we're gonna go inside, take a look at the inside. Interior's nice and clean on this thing. I've totally restored most of it. New carpet. I did the back panels. It's all redone. I got a full set of gauges. I got a tack here. Healthy little V6 it is. I got more brakes now than I know what to do with. It's time to hook the GoPro up inside and take her for a ride. Hello, I hope you're able to see this. Took all my stereo crap out. Got a digital scale here. Trying to get this truck down under 3,000 pounds with me in it. There's 10 pounds of stereo. Took the tailgate off. Tailgate is 28 pounds, so 38 pounds tailgate and stereo, and I put the rear sway bar on. That was about 10 pounds, so we'll see what we get the final outcome. Crop duster. $2,900 pounds with me in it. Read it and weep. $2,650 with me out of it. Just right. Come on, here we go. From a dead stop, catch the farm truck.